sorry. You've come to lecture me on birth control I already gave at the office. Well, I have all the Bunny Scout cookies I need, and I've already donated blood. All right, of course. You must know, Mr. McGregor's carrot patch is right down the road. So as you can see, Harvey...
His name is Beauregard, and he happens to be the descendant of the King of Prussia.
Are you sure about that? Because he has all the features from someone from Wonderland. I mean, his funny whiskers, a little pink nose, definitely stuff of storybooks.
Hey, not in front of the bunny. He's very sensitive.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, may we come in? It's been an exhausting hop over.
Please.
Thank you.
Oh, he's so cute.
It's a new addition for the nursery.
Oh,
nice.
Gosh.
You know, I was just walking down the street, just minding my own business, out for a little stroll, and there he was, in the front window of Eric's Toys.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Yeah, I know, but look at that face. I mean, how could you resist a face like that, huh?
Oh.
Besides that, the little guy needs a home.
I'm really serious. It's much too extravagant a gift.
Would it help if I told you he was on sale? He must have been left over from last Easter or something. Anyway, isn't it supposed to be the thought that counts?
Rick, I hoped I'd made myself clear the other day.
Sure, there was just something about Beauregard I couldn't resist.
Rick, I don't want you doing any more favors for me. You're very helpful, and I'm very grateful.
You just don't want me hanging around for some obscure reason. I got it.
Look, this is the only free time you have, isn't it? And I just think you must have something better you could be doing.
Oh, yeah, let's see. There's movies, television, billiards. You know, I used to be a pretty fair shot with a pool cue. Hey, there's a couple of dirt bike races coming up. Maybe you want to go?
I'm serious, Brick. I don't want you doing this now. Especially spending money on gifts.
The gift's not for you, it's for the baby.
I can't.
I want the kid to have it, okay? End of argument.
All right. For the baby. Thank you. If you don't mind, I got a lot of things to do today. Would you let yourself out, please?
Beauregard Farnsworth III, Mr. T to his friends.
I thought you were leaving.
Yeah, a funny thing happened to me on the way to the door. I got that little twinge again. You know, it runs up my back every time I'm being lied to. It kind of starts in my head and works its way down to my toes, and it fires up my back again, never fails.
I meant what I said the other day.
Yeah, but it's the reasons I don't buy.
How can I make myself any clearer?
It's easy. You dig down that soul of yours and you just come up with a little truth. I don't think that's asking too much, or is it?
Well, Theodore, what a pleasant surprise. Unfortunately, you picked a bad time. I'm on my way out the door.
Yeah, well, this won't take long.
Well, I'm afraid I'm off on official business, and I'll bet what you want is a nice, friendly chat.
I wouldn't say friendly.
Well, make an appointment with my secretary. She's the one you passed on your way out.
No, Mason, this is important.
Ted, everything I do is important. So to avoid being accused of nepotism, I'm going to have to ask you to wait your turn. Now, you've always been an independent sort. Surely you don't expect favoritism?
Look, I just need a few facts.
Later, Ted.
No. Now.
I'll ask you nicely one time. Please remove your hand.
When you've told me everything you know about this Lionel Lockridge case.
Why the sudden interest?
What you'd call a lot at stake? My future, mine and Lakin's.
You're going to have to watch that temper of yours, Ted. It could get you in a lot of trouble someday. Please try to remember this is 1985 and you're a Capwell, not a Visigoth.
Look, I've got a right to know what's going on.
The question is, do you want to know? I'm perfectly willing to tell you everything, but do you really think you're ready to hear it?
Why don't we start with the coins?
Stolen from our house by Warren Lockridge.
Why?
You are aware that those coins belong to Sophia, your mother?
That doesn't explain the significance.
Warren was covering for his father.
That still doesn't explain the significance, Mason.
All right, Ted. Fasten your seatbelt. You asked for this. Lionel gave those coins to Sophia as a gift. The ring that was found was also a gift, this time from Sophia to Lionel. You see, Sophia and Lionel at one time were very close. More specifically, and I hope this isn't too difficult for your tender ears, they had an affair. You said you wanted the truth.
This affair, it happened before they were married.
It began then, but it continued after she married Dad. From what I understand, it was off and on for some time. Now, in anticipation of your next question regarding Channing's murder, we have evidence to indicate that Channing knew both about the coins and about the affair between Lionel and Sophia and was more than prepared to make it public knowledge. In order to prevent that, Lionel killed Channing.
It can't be. It just can't be, Mason.
The evidence is overwhelming.
You're talking about my mother. She wouldn't do anything like that.
Ted, how do you know that? You were 2 years old when she died.
People have told me from what I've heard.
People painting a picture for you, a rather rose-tinted one, I'm afraid.
It's not true. It can't be. It's only supposition, stuff you dreamed up, Mason. And this bit with the coins and the ring, it's not going to prove anything.
Well, I wish I could say they don't, but unfortunately, too many people know otherwise. People still living who remember Sophia and Lionel.
What did Dad say about this?
He denied the whole thing.
Well, maybe he's right.
Ted, people believe what they want to believe, see what they want to see. Dad's no exception. As a matter of fact, that's where I'm headed right now. Dad will be very valuable when this case comes to trial. You see, in order to convict Lionel, I have to prove that there was an affair. In order to do that, I have to establish that Dad and Sophia had a rocky marriage.
Well, you can't. Because it isn't true. I know it isn't. And look, if you force Dad to testify, he's
called
just...
a subpoena, Ted. I can call anybody to the stand I want to.
Yeah, well, he'll refuse. He'd sooner die than admit that.
You're forgetting one small thing, Ted. Dad wants Lionel behind bars as much as I do.
No way. He's not going to go as far as that. You just wait. He's going to prove this whole theory wrong. No one loved my mom more than Dad.
Well, you're welcome to come along, though I doubt Dad wants an audience for this.
Look, if you even hint that Sophia was unfaithful, Dad is going to just kill you.
Now, that would make a headline, wouldn't it? Capwell kills son in court.
I'm not kidding.
Neither was Lionel Lockridge when he shot your brother. Let's get our priorities straight, shall we? I got a case to prepare, starting now. Are you coming?
Daddy, I've got to talk to you.
Honey, next time think about knocking. Maybe I didn't want to be disturbed.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
That's all right. What can I do for you?
Well, let's get right to the point. I want Cruz demoted. I'll prepare the letter. I just need you to sign it.
Well, I hope you have a reason for this.
Well, where should I begin? His disrespect for company policy, his insubordination, his total lack of professionalism. For weeks, I have been waiting for reports on business dealings, oil exploration, and to this date, I have gotten exactly nothing.
Well, it's true the man is a bit unorthodox.
You're throwing away good money on it.
No. On the contrary. We are well on our way to another banner year. And a lot of it is due to Cruz's efforts.
Well, how are you supposed to know if he refuses to tell you anything?
Well, I just got a report from him. We have 7 new oil discoveries. I mean, that's going to yield millions to the Capwell Enterprises.
Departmental reports are supposed to be filed through my office.
Well, I'll see to it that you get a copy.
That's not going to solve my problem.
Honey, a raise is a lot more appropriate than a demotion. Negative feedback is no reward for success.
It might make him work harder.
Never has, never will.
What about his insubordination?
Well, I always thought that was part of his charm.
It's easy for you to say. You don't have to work with him day in and day out.
No, that's not true. Just the other day, I asked him to take on a job for me, and he refused. So I'm flat out turned me down.
Yeah, well, there was a day when you would have fired a man like that.
I still would, if it was anybody else but Cruz. Honey, he is the best at what he does. He delivers. And in the oil business, you will find out that is all that is important.
Well, you know, there's something else. I really didn't feel like I wanted to bring it up, but I guess it's necessary. Cruz is seeing Elizabeth Peel.
Oh, well, why is that, Germaine?
I don't trust her.
Eden, this doesn't happen to be a personal matter, does it?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I know how you've always felt about rejection. Even as a child, you were very jealous of any of the kids that got more attention than you.
Daddy, that's a preposterous idea. Are you saying I have designs on Cruz or something?
Well, maybe it explains your jealousy of Elizabeth.
Daddy, please. The man is arrogant and childish. I have no interest in Cruz whatsoever. And I don't want to talk about it. I mean, that's all we're going to say.
Very well.
Daddy, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right, honey.
I didn't mean to snap at you.
It's already forgotten. Let me ask you something. You heard what Mason said about Sophia. Do you think that Lionel and Sophia...
No. No, I don't. She wasn't that kind of a woman, Daddy.
How do you know that? You were just a child when she died.
I don't think you would marry anyone like that. I mean, not knowingly, anyway.
Well, the evidence is very disturbing.
I don't think you should let it worry you.
You know, she was a good mother. Loving, affectionate. Motherhood was sacred to her. She lived it 24 hours a day. You remember that kind of devotion?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I was really young when she died.
Do I hear a little tone of resentment there?
No. It's just my most vivid memories are of her not being here. Being alone. I mean, I was jealous of all the other girls on Parents' Day. Things like that.
So you blamed your mother?
No. There was a real big part still missing. And that part is just because she wasn't here.
You shouldn't be angry. She didn't mean to desert you. Sophia was a perfect mother. Loving each of you equally, without favorites, without question. Lord knows that I wanted to spend a lot of time with you. I couldn't, but I knew that you were well taken care of, looked after. She couldn't have had an affair with anyone, especially Lionel Lockridge.
Leaves 5:20 p.m., arrives 11:20 p.m., 4:12. 4:12. That must be a flight number. Apparently her friend wasn't traveling alone. His wife. That's it. 5:20. That doesn't give me much time.
Look, you can't go around saying one thing and meaning something else.
How do you know how I feel? You know, you've been doing this to me ever since we met. Yeah. Making these judgments about me, telling me what's right for me, what's best for Amy. Well, what makes you such an expert? That's what I'd like to know.
Maybe I care about you.
Oh, yeah, sure, you care about me. What am I supposed to do with that? Kiss the ground at your feet, melt? You know, I mean, look, I don't need you, pal. I don't want you hanging around.
How is that right?
Isn't that what I said?
I don't believe you.
Are you calling me a liar?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Fine. Whatever you need to think.
Look, don't get me wrong, okay? I don't mind being put off by a girl. It's happened, I think, once before.
Oh.
Look, what I do mind is someone putting me off when it's not what they believe in their heart.
Oh, there you go again, Dr. Freud. Well, I'm really sure that you know exactly what it is that I feel, though.
I do. Now, why don't you just admit that you care about me? I'm willing to admit it to you.
Because you don't have as much to lose.
What the hell is that supposed to
You
mean?
figure it out.
No, I'm tired of figuring things out. I want you just to tell me, okay? Just say it.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I don't know how I feel. Lately, wherever I go, whatever I do, all I feel is scared. Brick, I've got this baby inside of me, and it's a beautiful thing. It's growing and getting bigger, but I've also got this fear.
What? Just tell me.
Of letting somebody in my life. Of opening up. I know it's real corny, but I'm just afraid of getting hurt.
Look, Amy, I would never hurt you. Don't you understand that?
No, of course you wouldn't. No one sets out planning to hurt somebody in the beginning until it happens, and then it's too late. So I don't want to do something that I'm gonna regret.
Look, I don't want you to do anything. Nothing. All I want you to do is just give me a little honesty and a chance to be your friend. Okay?
There was always a line girls used to get rid of guys. Let's just be friends.
They're better than enemies.
There are enough of those in the world.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
You drive a very hard bargain, Mr. Wallace.
Yeah. I know. So, what's it gonna be? Should I go or do you want me to stay?
Well, what do you think, Beauregard? Should I kick the bum out? What? Oh. Yeah, I think so too. He thinks I should give the bum a chance. No.
It's one smart puppy.
Bunny.
Oh, that
Puppy.
Bunny puppy.
Yes, I'm looking for a flight 412, leaving at 5:20. You sure? How about tomorrow? There's no flight 412. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Half an hour to go. Flights, buses, okay, the train. It's got to be the train. Yes. I was wondering if you have a train number 412 leaving at 5:20. You do? The Victoria Express? What is that? It's a special run. Well, may I ask its destination? Chicago? How about seats? Okay, honey, if you left, no. Yeah, is it on time? Okay, I'll hurry. Thank you very much.
You. I thought I made it clear that you're not welcome here.
Well, this is official business, Dad. Just some legal matters concerning Lionel Lockridge and his relationship with your wife, Sophia, now deceased.
I already know what Mason thinks.
Did you believe him?
Of course not. From what you told me about my mother, something like that couldn't have possibly happened.
Yet another love-blinded Capwell.
Guess you could just make that two of us, Mason.
Well, perhaps you'll all give me a chance to prove it.
Oh, save it for the courtroom, Mason. No one in this room is going to admit that affair took place.
Well, see, there you've put your finger right on my problem, Dad, because without your testimony, I'm going to have a hard time proving anything. See, a large portion of my case depends on this, as you put it, alleged affair, so I'm going to need to put you on the stand.
Well, you can forget about that. I will not submit to it.
You will if I have you subpoenaed.
As what? A hostile witness? Lord knows I want Lockridge behind bars. But if it means throwing aspersions on my marriage with Sophia, you might as well forget about it.
Well, a lawyer's job is to prove his point any way he can.
Yes. Lie, cheat, steal. Isn't that right, Mason? Muddle the minds of the jury with hearsay.
Actually, what matters most are the facts.
Well, what do you think you're going to prove by putting me on the stand?
Well, quite simply, that you drove Sophia into Lionel's arms. That this affair, this very real affair, was your fault. And yours alone.
Before we went to San Francisco, I had always been this confused clinging kind of person. And when I saw Jeff, though, I realized I don't need anybody. I can make it on my own.
That's my point. I never thought you did.
Why are you coming over here for such abuse?
Because I admire and respect your strength. That's important to me. If you were this clinger-on that you seem to think you were, I would have been history a long time ago. What you're doing takes guts.
If I had guts, I wouldn't be so scared.
Most of us are scared some of the time anyway. Fear is what makes us human. The mistake is letting the fear take over.
I can't help it. Brig, I get scared and I let it take over, or I used to.
You know what, Amy? What you're giving me right now is honesty. That's all I want from you. I promise I'll give you that back.
Sounds like a fair deal.
Yeah.
Well, what?
You know that glow that they're always talking about? You've got it.
You're not kidding.
Oh. It's very alluring. I better be going.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I stayed a little longer than I decided to.
Oh, well, we needed to talk. Thanks for Thumper.
Beauregard.
Beauregard. Right.
You mind if I come by and see the bunny once in a while?
No, I think that would be great.
Great. Well, I better be going.
Okay. I'll be seeing you soon.
Yeah. Oh. Take care of yourself. I mean that.
Thanks. Thanks for everything. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I mean, Rick? Oh, no! I can't believe it!
Welcome to the Victoria Express, sir. What can I get for you? I think I'll have a vodka martini on the rocks with a twist, thank you. You sound a little out of breath. Yeah. Did you ever see those Western movies where the guy races down the platform and catches the last car, the last train? Yeah, that's what happened to me. You going all the way to Chicago? I hope not. There you go. That'll be $2.50. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You haven't seen a man with a beard and a blonde woman get on this train, have you? Sure, I saw him get on a couple minutes before you did. You know which direction he went? Well, it had to be forward. This is the last car on the train. I guess they were trying to find their seats. Yeah, I guess I better do the same thing. Thanks.
Lionel Lockridge. I'm right, aren't I? The most knowledgeable expert on primitive art in the world. Sir, you can't know what an honor this is. The name's Winifred Beckerman. I heard you lecture at Smith last year. What an uplifting, almost spiritual experience. Never have I seen a man take 600 women and hold them in the palm of his hand for 2 hours. That lecture was the high point of my educational experience. I kid you not, the pinnacle of my entire academic life. The way you described those fertility rites in Africa, the recurring use of the phallic symbol in primitive art, and those slides. I felt as if I had accompanied you on an around-the-world fantasy. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks. I heard you'd been in jail. Is that true?
That was a little misunderstanding.
I'm so glad. Oh, you can't know the shock of seeing your picture in the paper. Tell me, Are you traveling alone?
Well, for a little while, but not for long. No,
Allow me to buy you a drink, then. I'd so love to hear your opinions on the recent caches found in Kenya. Have you seen those pictures in the National Geographic? Fascinating.
As a matter of fact, I took a few of them. Would you please excuse me? I have to use the facility.
Oh, well, don't let me stop you. I'll be right here.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Ticket, sir?
Ticket. Right. Well, see, unfortunately, I don't have a ticket because I got on the train a little late.
No problem. How far are you going?
How far?
Well, one way to Chicago is $149.
Well, I don't have to go that far. Let's see. How far will $75 get me?
Butte.
Beg your pardon?
Butte, Montana. Only, I can't offer you a sleeping compartment or even a Pullman. Just a seat.
I just need a seat, that's okay.
It's a 2-day trip, sir. Since this is an antique, it doesn't travel at top speeds.
Well, I'm kind of an insomniac. I kind of pace around. I won't be sleeping very much.
Very well, sir. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you. I will.
So how long has your husband been overseas?
8 months. Oh. He was supposed to come home for Christmas on a leave, but he was put on alert. So maybe he'll get 2 weeks soon. I'm waiting to hear word on that.
Oh, I can't believe it. Jackie Baldwin, class queen, head cheerleader, a Navy wife. Unbelievable.
Well, wait a minute. I'm teaching, too. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm here in Santa Barbara. There's an opening in Lyman. I'm going to interview for it.
You might be living here? Mm-hmm. That's great.
Larry likes the idea, too. Larry, my husband.
Oh, him.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I was living down at Long Beach on the base there and commuting to a teaching job. And we both thought that it might be nice to live here.
I would think anything would be better than Navy base.
Oh, it's not so bad. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's okay. Anyway, enough about me. I want to hear about you.
Yeah?
You know, I didn't even expect you to answer the door. I thought the last time I heard about you, you were up in San Francisco, and your Christmas card last year said something about a new guy.
Well, we don't talk about him anymore. It didn't quite work out, so I moved home.
Back to the old nest, huh?
Seems we both had the same idea.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not such a bad place.
Not bad at all. I have missed you so much, and you look great.
Well, so do you. And, what else has been going on since you've been moving around?
I can't believe you've noticed.
Oh, noticed? Noticed what?
Yes, well, I guess it's, that I have, about 4 months to go. What do you think, my gorgeous?
Oh, Amy.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
This is it. Come here. Hey, what is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Look at this. I think you've torn my coat.
I'm sorry.
There's a rip right there.
I know. I'm sorry. Look, let me pay for the damage. I'm very.
Hey, that's not the point. You just don't walk up and attack people like that.
What's going on here?
This man just walked up and attacked me.
Look. Would this here? It'll help pay for the damage. And if there's any more, I'll give you my card or something. Conductor, look, I thought this man was someone who made a pass at my wife a week or so ago. I was mistaken. It was an honest mistake.
Will the money cover the damages, sir?
Yeah, I guess so.
Then will you please go back to your seat?
Yes, of course. I apologize to you both.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
I don't want any more trouble from you. I've had your type on this train before, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to stand for any more scenes. I run a very clean, safe, and quiet train. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, quite clear.
Good. Now that you're in your seat, I suggest you use it.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mason, go ahead and put me on the stand. I'll tell you one thing, it won't do your case any good. You want me to admit that my wife was having an affair? I'll never do it.
Daddy's right. You're just going to have to convict Lionel on your own, Mason.
Yeah, you said you had enough evidence already.
Besides, it's Lionel who's on trial here, not me, and certainly not my relationship with Sophia.
All right. Prove it to me, Dad. Prove that you and Sophia had a good marriage.
Get me a Bible and I'll swear to it.
Well, better yet, why don't we pretend that this is a courtroom and you're on the stand?
All right, put me on the stand. Maybe we can put this thing to rest finally.
Well, good. You, sure you want to do it this way?
Let's get at it. Let's go.
All right. First question. How would you characterize your relationship with Sophia?
It's a perfect marriage.
It was a perfect marriage.
We both loved each other very much.
Mm-hmm. Were there any fights?
We had our disagreements. Once in a while, an argument. No more than the average couple. Less, I would say.
Well, if I may, I'd like to remind you of one argument in particular. One I remember overhearing as a child. It was the night before Sophia died, as a matter of fact. You were going away on an overseas assignment, and she was very upset. You know the argument I'm talking about?
I seem to recall.
Uh-huh. She begged you to stay. She said that she was lonely, claimed that she felt abandoned, neglected, that you were never at home anymore, that you two never talked.
You have an excellent memory.
You admit the fight took place?
What if it did? We were going through a difficult period, Sophia and I. She wanted to go back to work, and I was against it. But that wasn't an unusual situation in those years. It doesn't mean that we were having a bad marriage.
Does mean that there was trouble in paradise, though.
This is a ridiculous game, Mason. You've had your fun, but I don't think you're going to prove your point.
You afraid to go on?
I choose not to.
Well, why not? If it was a perfect marriage, then you have nothing to fear.
There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. Everyone has problems. You're talking about one specific fight. That doesn't mean, as you're trying to portray it, that we had a bad marriage.
I think you had more than a few problems, Dad. I may have been only a child, but I seem to recall Sophia crying herself to sleep on a number of occasions, those nights when you were still at work. At least that's where you claimed you were.
Of course I was at work. Capwell Enterprises was having a crucial time then.
Then why don't you just admit that you were never home because your work meant more to you than your family?
That's not true.
Isn't it?
My work was important, yes, but so was my family. I tried to do the best for you, for all of you.
Then, how do you explain this?
What does it say? Dad!
Those are, divorce papers that Sophia had drawn up a year before she died, but apparently never filed. She couldn't go through with it. Why, I don't know.
It's lies. It's all of it lies.
Dad!
No, that's all right. I'll wait. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Doesn't sound good.
Oh, you know, it's the old story with the military. Hurry up and wait. Listen, I really appreciate your letting me stay here while I'm in town, but you haven't checked with your mother or Jade.
You don't have to worry, kiddo. I can use my pregnancy around here to get anything I want.
You must be pretty excited.
I am.
Is it what you wanted?
Whew, at first, I wasn't so sure.
Now?
I can't wait. Really.
You know, you are by yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for that.
Larry and I want a family. Well, he was sent overseas so quickly, we didn't have a chance to start one. Now, what's so funny about that?
I'm just thinking about how our lives turned out, you know, that here I am pregnant without a husband, and there you are not pregnant with a husband. I don't know.
I'll tell you what.
What?
I'll trade you my husband for your baby.
Okay, you got a deal.
Sight unseen, you're easy.
Actually, a picture would be very helpful.
Oh, I got one right here in my wallet.
Great. Oh, does he have any brothers? No? My.
Can I get you something?
No, thank you, no.
How many times do I have to tell you?
You neglected your wife, and she had to turn to Lionel Lockridge for affection. And to keep that affair quiet, he killed your son. Lionel murdered your precious Channing Jr. because of a situation you created with your neglect. Truth of it is, you're as much responsible for Channing's death as anyone. If it weren't for your selfishness, Channing might be alive today.
Vincent, I'll kill you.
Dad!
Stop it.
Hurts, doesn't it, Dad? Being responsible for your own son's death?
You will say anything, won't you? Do you think in that twisted mind of yours that I'm going to let you back in this family?
Think if I still cared about that, I'd be here saying these things?
Then why don't you just go, Mason? Why don't you just leave?
When I'm through?
Well, I'm telling you, you're through now. I want you out of here.
Dad, aren't you even curious about these papers? I went to a lot of trouble to get them.
You mean forged them, don't you?
I have witnesses and documentation. You see, I subpoenaed the private records from Sophia's private attorney.
They don't mean anything.
You don't think so?
She didn't file them.
No, but you went to a lot of trouble to have them drawn up. Now, in a court of law, that's going to prove that she was unhappy, very unhappy.
No matter how many problems were in the relationship, Mason, she still wouldn't have filed those papers.
What makes you so sure?
Because Sophia was a very devoted mother.
You're all alike. You, Ted, Kelly. Whatever Dad told you about Sophia, you believed. I've shown you physical proof otherwise, and you still continue to believe this fantasy. Except maybe for Ted. What do you think, Ted?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
You're just trying to get us mad.
Whether it makes you mad or not, it's still the truth.
Yeah, well, I don't believe it.
Don't believe it, son. It's a lie. Ted, I loved your mother. She loved me. We were a family, and Mason felt left out. Now he comes along and he's trying to destroy the last thing that we have, the one thing that's held us together all these years. Oh, you'll say anything.
Yeah, what about the papers?
I can't explain that. But if they were authentic, she didn't file them.
The nights crying herself to sleep?
He made that up.
You said that my mom was happy, that she loved us.
She did. She did. I know you can't understand the rest, but believe that much. She loved you kids.
Then what did she need Lionel for?
Ted, listen to me. What's wrong?
I gotta get out of here.
Ted, don't go.
No.
Please.
You know, I don't know who to believe anymore. Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
You unfeeling? That kid loved his mother. Every image that he had of her, you have systematically destroyed.
He deserves to know the truth.
That doesn't give you the right to destroy his life.
Ted'll survive. Eden, Kelly, they'll come through this all right.
Why them? It's me you're after.
I just want to hear you admit it.
Then you're wasting your time. Because I will never admit it to you. And certainly not in a court of law.
It's the truth, damn it. Why can't you see that?
Because I know better. I lived with Sophia. I loved her. I held her in the night. I knew her, Mason. You only know what you want to know. What you think that you found in a yellow sheaf of papers. Get out. Get out of my house. What you've done to Ted and Eden tonight, you must hate them more than you hate Sophia and me.
No.
Daddy.
I'm sorry, honey. I just want to be alone for a while. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Thanks a lot, sir. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Why are you trying to frame me for murder? I know everything you've been doing. Everything.